Okay, sorry guys. So for some reason the video shut off. All right, so plugged in. Kids need to spend time using their electronic devices. Do you love to surf the internet, listen to music, IM, and talk on a cell phone? You are not alone. A recent study has some surprising news. Kids in the United States between the age of 8 and 18 spend 7.5 hours a day on electronic devices. These include computers, smartphones, and video games. Some adults try to advance the idea that these devices waste kids' time. However, some research surveys say this idea is inaccurate. In fact, the data show that technology can benefit kids. Critics say that kids stare at computers and TVs all day and do not get enough exercise. The facts stand in counterpoint to this belief. One study compared kids who use media a lot to those who do not. These heavy media users actually spent more time in physical activity than light media users. One study by the National Institutes of Health says that action video games may help increase kids' visual attention. In addition, using interactive media can give kids good structure for learning. It can also help them learn to switch tasks effectively. Kids also need to use the web to access information. Many argue that learning to use the web responsibly sharpens kids' reasoning abilities. Today's world is wired, and not just for fun. The jobs of the future depend on kids who plug in. All right, so first the author asks a question to get the reader's attention. All right, do you love to do these things? You are not alone. And next, the author explains why the issue is important by, what does he do here? He cites statistics. All right. Then the author identifies the opposing viewpoint. So the author acknowledges that some people think that they are not good for children. So the opposing viewpoint, the counterpoint, and then he tells why research shows that it may be inaccurate. Okay. And finally, the author clarifies the viewpoint, all right, that data shows that technology can benefit kids, all right, so they restated their position on this topic. All right, at the bottom here, a source of news for teens. It says, for the latest news, teens used to rely on newspapers, television, and magazines. See how many teens now get their news online. All right, so this is just to further advance his idea that electronic devices are beneficial. Okay. So the second article is tuned out. All right, this is by another written by another person, and this person believes that electronic media is harming kids. So they will try to persuade us that we should not, or children should not be using electronics. Are kids tuning out by tuning into electronic devices? An alarming report states that young people spend an hour more per day on computers, smartphones, television, and other electronic media than they did 5 years ago. Nearly 7 out of 10 kids have cell phones. Just 5 years ago, 4 out of 10 had them. Are these devices harmless or hurtful to the well-being of young people? A close analysis of several studies shows that there are plenty of disadvantages to these devices. The internet is supposed to be a great tool for learning. Do kids who love computers do better in the classroom? To cite one report, access to electronic devices does not automatically bring high marks in school. See the graphs below. So here, the effect of media use on grades. These pie graphs show how the use of media affects grades. Okay, heavy media users. This has the percentage of people who get good grades and fair or poor grades. All right, the same for moderate media users and light media users. Okay, so the author here is trying to show that media does affect grades. Okay, so those who used media lightly, a higher percentage of them got good grades. Okay, so again, this author is advancing their idea that children should not be using electronic media. Okay, some argue that the devices get kids involved and help them make friends. Claims like these are incorrect. So here, just like the last article, or the previous article, sorry, this is the counterpoint, okay? So the author here is introducing the opposing viewpoint, but then says claims like these are incorrect. A study done by the Pew Research Center discusses teenagers' use of online social networks. Teens do this to keep in touch with friends they already have, not make new ones. In addition, trying to meet people online can be dangerous. There are other serious drawbacks to new technology. One issue is multitasking, or trying to do many tasks at the same time. Is it possible to do more than one task at a time well? Some studies say kids' thinking improves when they do several tasks at once. Still, experts point out that much more research needs to be done on this. New electronic devices hit stores every year. Kids should know that there is more to life than what they see on a screen. Okay, so this author also asks a question at the beginning and provides statistics. And then the author asks another question. All right. Are these devices harmless or hurtful to the well-being of young people? The answer, analysis of several studies shows that there are plenty of disadvantages to these devices. All right, so this shows that this author has an opposing point of view to the previous article plugged in. All right, so basically these two persuasive articles, plugged in and tuned out, provide more information for us about the positive and negative effects of new technology. All right, so I will leave you guys with this for you to decide which side you are on, which is your opinion of electronic devices, and consider both of the views that were discussed in these two articles. Okay, that's it for today, guys, and wait for tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.